Let's take a look. Okay, let's read the last one. I'll use the restroom.
Congratulate all the teams that have made it this far. All right, let's hear it for the pigs. Love that trick. Never gets old. Hiss! Very creepy. And finally, the surprise team of the Scare Games. Who's the Kappa? Come on up here. Well, I gotta admit, fellas, I thought you were a bunch of nobodies. But boy, was I wrong. Let's hear it for Uzma Kappa. The most adorable monsters on campus. Release the stuffed animals. Don't worry. Nobody reads the school paper.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they read the quad.
Sarah has found Onward from home by G and May. She married Jacob and to live with her descendant on the prairie farm. Here she has grown to love Anna and Caleb, though she is sometimes homesick because the prairie or sea of good southern from it. After months of happiness together, the family is about to be tested by the forces of nature. The land they have worked so hard to farm is drying up fast. And empty grass is built on the fence. I worked so hard to farm drying up fast. And just to the fence like this, simply for rain that does not come. All the family can do is watch the skies and hope. Sarah and I sat in the kitchen. The air was pink with the heat, and there was no breeze. There hasn't been any wind for days, so I was writing a letter to the Aunt May. I wrote in my journal. Remember the wildflowers, I asked Sarah, and the roses that grew on the fence. Remember sighing? Sarah looked up. Yes, he said. She reached out and touched my hair. I remember. Papa, cloudy, shouted Kate from outside. Sarah and I ran outside by the paddock. A fence, a thin coach was drinking water out of the water pail. He killed moving, shouted Kate. Papa walked in from the field. Took a step toward the coffee, then turned to run to the house. He came out with his rifle. Jacob, what are you going to do? Cried Sarah. Go inside, Sarah, she said. Your turn.
Papa raised his rifle to shoot the coyote, but Sarah grabbed the barrel of the rifle. No, don't do it, Jacob, don't. Sarah stopped, yelled Papa. Papa tried to push her away, and the coyote looked up at the sound of their voices. Slowly he ran over the field, stopping once to look back. Then he was gone. Sarah began to cry. You only wanted water, water, Jacob. Caleb climbed over the paddock fence and stood next to me. Papa took Sarah's arm and turned to Caleb. Put the animals in the barn, Caleb, he said. Caleb turned and walked to the barn, tears streaming down Sarah's face. Water, she said. He only wanted water, just like us. She slumped to the ground and put her hands over her face as she cried. Get Sarah something to drink, Anna, said Papa. He took off his hat and sat down on the ground next to her. Amma, he said sharply. Now? I turned and went to the water and barrel and scooped out a cup of water. Papa put his arms around Sarah. His voice was soft. Sarah, Sarah, he said softly. It will be all right. It will be all right. But Sarah cried and cried, and when Papa turned and looked at me, I knew that something was not all right. Nothing was all right.
They don't even look scared.
The look in his eyes was fear. And that night when I came in from the barn to go to bed, there was something else missing from the fence, missing like Sarah's roses. Caleb's glass was gone.
They're coming, said Caleb, looking out the upstairs window. He wore a t-shirt and his hair was fresh smooth. I wore the dress I had worn when Papa and Sarah were married. Outside, I just came into the yard. Oh, this makes Sarah happy? Caleb asked me. Worried? I washed my white right in. I saw Maggie's dress and her rose dress and a straw hat. Yes, I said, this will make her happy. Anna, Caleb, what is this? Said Sarah and looked to the doorway. We walked around outside. Sarah walked to the window to look out to, but I took her hand and pulled out into the hallway. So your turn.
Me too. Doesn't have to speed anymore. This technique is flawed.
Papa looked up the stairs at her. He wore a vest and his hair was slicked back. He smiled at her. Happy birthday, Sarah, he said. There are guests and presents, Sarah, said Caleb. But I'm not dressed, said Sarah. Then get dressed, said Papa softly. Outside there was a table in the shade of the house set with food and lemonade. Maggie and Matthew were there, and Rose and Violet and the baby. All the neighbors were there too. Papa carried something covered with a cloth out to the table. What is it? asked Maggie. You'll see, said Papa. Here she is, someone said. We all turned and Sarah came out to the porch in her white dress. Happy birthday, Sarah, said Papa. Happy birthday, everyone called. Sarah smiled at the sight of them. Everyone watched and seemed as if the prairie winds had stopped covering us all with dust. A present from the aunt, said Papa. He took the cloth away, and there was a phonograph. I handed him a record, and he put the needle on it. Suddenly, music filled in the yard. Sarah stared. Papa walked up to her and held out his hand. He smiled and came down the steps, and they began to dance. Maggie and Matthew began to dance. The baby between them. Everyone danced. Then the dirt yard, the light around all the yellow like an old photograph. Sarah buried her face in Papa's shoulder, and Caleb smiled at her. And for a little while, as the sun began to set, as they danced, everyone forgot about the drought. For a while, everyone was happy again, even Sarah and Papa.
Just drive!
The last time I was in the moonlight, Sarah Papa went to the bar. There was a seat under the table, and Papa was to come off the bed. Then Papa heard Sarah carried the phonograph herself. I was much for you, Sarah, I said, and her a small book. I know what is this, said Sarah. And it's a book I started. About you, not about me, I said. She went out into the porch. Sarah sat down and opened the book. She began to read. When my mother, she stopped and looked at me, and she began to read again. Papa stood outside the screen door with me. When my mother, Sarah, came, she came by train. I didn't know I love her, but Dad did. Mama didn't know either, but she does love her. I've seen them kiss. Sarah started smiling at me, and the handsome voice she looks at her and the way she touches her hair. My mother, Sarah, doesn't love the prairie. She tries, but she can't help remember what she knew first. Yeah. Stop, and I can't close the book. Whole team goes to her. Do you like it? I said. I like it, she said softly. She forced her arms around me and saw Papa watching us. She got up and went to the door. It was fine party, Jacob. He put her hands up and he did too. She got a touch to the screen. I almost forgot music. I said, Sarah, this is let's have Papa at the door. What, Jacob? Jacob? Papa don't speak. Put it back, please, Jacob said Sarah. He shook his dead was raised. Papa thought Sarah when I was visiting the other night and looked out and saw it dead. Lying actually on the fence post. Your turn.
Kiosk! Pile of leaves! Standing out in the open!
The next day after a party, after the music and dancing, Matthew and Maggie's well went dry. They drove their wagon to our house to say goodbye, and I could hardly look at Sarah's face. The wagon was packed with furniture and clothes. Rose and Violet sat in the back, the baby on Maggie's lap. I'm sorry to be leaving you, Jacob, said Matthew. It's alright, Matthew, I know, said Papa. I'll miss you, Sarah said to Maggie. Her face was tight to keep all her feelings from coming out. She reached out to touch the baby's hand. We'll be back, said Maggie, tears coming down her face. We'll be back, she repeated. The baby began to cry as the wagon drove out of the yard. When Sarah turned to look at Papa, tears sat at the corner of her eyes. We'll be back, said Papa. He watched the clouds of dust follow Matthew's wagon down the road. His eyes narrowed against the sunlight. The night I dreamed about roses and green fields and water. A grass of water on the fence, posts and ponds of water to swim in. Caleb spitting streams of water in the air like a whale. Sarah laughed and splashing us with water.
A sharp clap of thunder woke me. Snoring and naked bugs and suddenly looked up the sky. I turned over into bed, but then Papa's voice made me sit up. Sarah, it's fire. I got up and rushed to the window, and there was fire and few close to the barn. I was sleeping out the fence, I seen the squirrel, ran the fence, and out to the porch. Cat behind me. Sarah was running, Cat was sacks, hairs on her back. Sarah and Papa beat the fence around the corral. Then Papa stood up to let the frightened horses out. Get the cows, he shouted. Sarah ran to the barn and pulled out the cotton sack. Shoot, she cried. Sarah ran down to get Moonbeam. Get on board as they did. Sarah saw him and said the Moonbeam away. I put my arm around Caleb. I could feel him coming. Sarah screamed as she asked some hay caught fire and then decided how to burn his fin. Buckets, Papa, get buckets of water. Buckets! Sarah ran to the barrel and filled it, running back to him at her group. Papa got her and then Sarah shot him. I couldn't hear what he said, but I knew I was. It was that barrel. Papa stopped, then, and stared at the barn of face coming over off the roof. Sparks flew everywhere, and then part of the world filled here, and Sarah and Papa moved back. Sarah put her arm around Papa as the boy burned. They stood there watching for a long time. Papa turned towards her.
Wants to look away.
Away from fire and could see his eyes. Away from fire. I've never seen Papa's face so sad. Okay, your turn.
We're gonna win this thing tomorrow, so I can feel it.
The sun came up in the morning, the way it always does, but everything had changed. The barn was gone, only a few blackened trembles standing. The cows walked in the yard, the sheep in the cornfield, looking for green grass. I stood at my window and watched Sarah and Papa